players should move the ball around.
Why can't they just move in here and shoot?
Because if they step in here, they'll cause a jam.
Okay, I see.
Last week, you learned what are known as game basics. This week, we want to take it one step further. This week, we'll look at team offense.
We'll look at the basics for playing a good offensive team game.
You'll get an idea what your options are on offense, some minor schemes and formations. This practice session will help you not only in knowing what you're trying to do on offense, but also what everyone around you should be trying to do.
Right.
Let's get out there. It's much easier to show it when we're on the floor.
Hi, this is James. In this segment, I'm going to show you warm-up drills that are designed to prepare you for competition and practices. These drills are designed to activate the nervous system and warm up your muscles to help prevent injuries. This week's warm-up drill is called drum majors. In this drill, run forward while keeping the knees straight and kicking the feet straight out in front of you. Start with short, choppy strides and make the strides longer and longer until you break into a sprint for the last few strides. This will help warm up the muscles of the front of the leg, and the last part will help warm up the nervous system for the acceleration needed for playing lacrosse.
Prime Ministers. Former Prime Ministers Pierre Trudeau and Lester B. Pearson played lacrosse during their youth.
Hello again. In lacrosse, moving without the ball is often as difficult as moving with the ball. Players can push you and hit you while you're trying to get open. One of the major strategies involved on offense is getting a free man to cut through the middle. This drill is designed to give you a few pointers on how to cut to the middle effectively. All types of physical contact are allowed when it comes to cutting for a ball. You can knock your opponent's stick down, or you can cross-check your opponent and then move in. Another good way to free up some space is to simply fake one way and head the other way, blowing by your defender. There are a few one-on-one moves that you can be used also. The slides and the spins, of course. The next drill will combine all of the elements that players will encounter in a fast-paced offensive attack. The players will again execute a 2-on-2 drill. Their goal is to score. After one offensive team fires a shot, the defensive team switches up with the offensive team. Everything is allowed in this drill. Contact, fakes, slides, passes, and long shots. Anything to score. The real-life intensity of a game should be reproduced in this drill. Chances are you'll be moving while you're passing. So be creative. Bounce pass, behind the back, stutter steps. Do anything to get the ball to the cutter. Once he has recovered the ball, the cutter should try and score. This is a great drill that isolates one of the many game situations that occur. Cutting is hard to master, but is a must of any offensive team. Interference occurs when two players are attempting to recover a loose ball, and one of the players interferes in any way with the free movement of the opponent. Interference occurs if two players are attempting to recover a loose ball and one of the two players interferes in any way with the free movement of the opponent. When playing for a loose ball, players must play the ball and not check the other player until he has possession. Interference is also called if the ball is in flight and the player is checked before receiving the ball. Tossing an opponent's stick after he's dropped it will also result in an interference call. To signal an interference penalty, the referee will perform the following hand gesture. The interference penalty will usually result in a 2-minute penalty. Or in some cases, an automatic goal.
Learn the ins and outs of lacrosse right here on Lacrosse Goals. The arm guards provide additional protection to your upper body and your arms. They should completely eliminate the gap left by your shoulder pads in the upper arm area. They must be snug and at no time ever slip down the arm. When looking to purchase new arm guards, a player should look for a good mixture of hard shell exterior for high impact hits and comfortable foam interior to provide extra comfort. Some players will look for arm guards that are longer and leave a minimal gap between the glove and the guards. A player can also take into account the breathability when purchasing arm guards. A good pair of arm guards will protect the elbow area from hits taken at various angles. It is important for them to never restrict a player's mobility and ability to stick handle. A player's style of play will often dictate what kind of arm guards are best suited for that specific player.
Hey there! This lesson we will be talking about team building. The difference between an average team and a championship team is how well the team gels together. This first drill will look deeper at offensive positioning when attacking. This drill will give you an idea of the many offensive options available to you no matter what your position is. First, let's start with the crease man. As the crease man, you can back up to receive a pass. Make sure you've distanced yourself from your defender. You don't want the defensive player stepping in front of you and intercepting the ball. Once you've caught the pass, you are basically in a one-on-one situation. At this point, start by protecting the ball. Cradle and turn your shoulder towards your opponent. You should scan the field and see who's open. Then ask yourself if a shot is available. Where are the other defenders in case you decide to break for the net? Quick thinking is the most important thing here. If the defense has set up perfectly, your options have quickly dwindled into one: pass the ball to an open teammate. The other option is making a move to the middle before you get the ball. Make eye contact and beat your defender. Once opened, the point man will send you the ball. You should know what you're going to do before you catch the ball. After having caught the ball, your defender will either be right on your back or another of his teammates will have stepped in for him. Your options here are to fire at the net while on the run, try and make another move to create more separation, or pass to someone else that might be open. Those are two main situations that will occur during a game. The next position is the corner man. Playing as the corner man allows you all types of options: the pass, the long shot, set up a pick, cut in, or beat your man one-on-one. As the corner man, you will oftentimes be the ball carrier coming into the zone. But in situations where you are not, you should be looking at the field in front of you. In addition, you can wait for a pick from a teammate. You can pass the ball and work a give and go. You can pass the ball to the crease man and create a pick. The most important thing about being the corner man is that you will often be the defensive safety. Playing as a corner man is demanding physically and requires you to run, hit, toss, all the while you must think about creating offensive opportunities for your team. Now, the last position is the point man. The point man, most of the time, will be the last man into the offensive zone. He can choose to set up anywhere on top of the offensive zone between both cornermen. He needs to be a threat to score from anywhere in the offensive zone. The side to where the point man sets up will often be called the strong side. If the point man heads to the right side, it will be called strong side right. And the same with the left. With the point man being the man at the center of the field, he should always be a good distance shooter and also a good distance passer. Generally, the point man will avoid breaking to the net. He might attempt it once in a while to keep the opposing defenses on their toes. When playing the point, most of the action will be in front of you, and you'll usually be the first man to head back on defense. At this point, you should be getting a good feel for how the basic offense should run. No matter what your position is, you must be aggressive and always looking to score.
NHL. Many National Hockey League players play lacrosse in the off-season to keep in shape. Brendan Shanahan, Gary Roberts, and Joe Nieuwendyk are all ex-junior lacrosse stars.
It's easy to forget that it would be impossible to play lacrosse if you didn't have anyone to play against. You see this stick? It reminds me of a great story. I was in one of the most intense matches I had ever played. I ran up and down the field all day and the play was very rough. I played against a team from another community and I faced off against their best player. People from both communities had wanted to see this matchup for a very long time. This fellow facing me was like my shadow. He followed me step for step all over the field. I turned left, he turned left. I turned right, and he followed me right. When the game was over, we had lost the game by 1 goal. The fellow I had just played against walked up to me and said that it was the best game he had ever played, because I had pushed him to a level he had never played at before. He thanked me and told me that it would be an honor if I would accept his stick. I kindly accepted and thanked him. All players from different communities and from different origins share a special bond. It's a brotherhood of sorts. Today, many players think that injuring or making fun of an opponent is acceptable. Laughing at someone because we are better is not the right way to act. Neither is trying to hurt someone on the other team. Cursing or insulting the other team is not showing respect. Remember, the person you are playing against is there because, like you, he loves to play lacrosse and enjoys being with his teammates. When the game ends, opposing players should always shake hands as a show of respect, no matter what occurred during the game. By extending your hand, you're thanking him for having played his best and pushed you to play yours.
Time to serve your penalty. Head to the box for 2 minutes.
This week's warm-up drill is called switchies. In this drill, face sideways beginning in a split stance. With each stride, switch the legs from front to back while moving sideways. Move the arms as if you were running, opposite arm with your opposite leg. This will help warm up the front and back of the legs, as well as helping with balance. I hope you players and coaches learned a valuable tip to help prepare you to play at your best when you're on the floor. To avoid injuries, do a variety of warm-up drills to ensure that all muscles are warmed up and ready to go. Until next week, have fun and play hard.
Different. There are 4 different types of official lacrosse: box lacrosse, men's field lacrosse, women's field lacrosse, and interlacrosse.
Hello again. In faster-paced games, teams try and implement different tactics to get the upper hand. That is why most teams play with specific offensive formations. For this drill, we'll be looking at basic offensive formations. As your experience with the game of lacrosse grows, you'll surely be asked to play a specific way on offense. In addition to playing a specific position, your team's offense will be based on a set system. Systems are designed to allow your team to have the best chances at scoring. As a team, you'll need an inside shooting game, using strong-willed players that aren't afraid to cut through the middle. You'll need an outside shooting game to draw the defense away from the middle. You need players that can go one-on-one with a combination of power and agility. Once every player knows his position and his role, a team can focus on formations. This drill looks at 2 types of offensive formations. The first is the strong side formation, with 3 players on one side. The second is the 1-2-2 alignment, the point man on top and your pairings around the perimeter. The strong side formation allows you to move your players around. Generally, the 3 strong side players can continuously try and run through the middle for a pass. The 1-2-2 helps you balance the floor and is better suited to having your team play defense in case of turnovers. The point man will often dictate how the 1-2-2 is run. He can move to one side, creating the strong side formation. In this case, your point man looks and sees which side is best suited for the attack. For today's drill, the players will go into the offensive zone and they will attempt to use either the 1-2-2 or the strong side formation. As an individual player within a system, you always need to know where the ball is. You also need to know where your defensive man is. Recognize mismatches and exploit them. If you have an open shot, you must take it. Those are a few things you need to know while playing offense, no matter which formation your team is using. Here are a few more tips to help you out. Push the ball low. It's much harder for defenses to protect the net when the shots are coming from down low. Cycle the ball through your point man. If your shots aren't available down low, bring the ball back to your point man. Avoid cross-floor passes. They usually get intercepted. Change up the pace. You can handle the ball for a few seconds, allowing your teammates to do their own thing. Try to be creative in finding open areas. Your players will get to see how the defense reacts to their movements. Whether you're playing the 1-2-2 or the strong side, both formations are designed to make defenses react and move. You need to find their weaknesses in their systems and exploit them.
Top doors. Okay, hold up, guys. Another good one, John. Team's really starting to get the hang of the offense out there.
Well, that's great. Like anything else, when you're trying something new, it seems a little bit different. But the more you practice it, the more comfortable you become.
All right, I'm going to get him playing a little bit more, John.
All right, good job, James.
Let's go, guys.
Practice with your team at a slow pace to begin with. You can do it without opponents just to work on positioning and timing. Then you can set up friendly games to work on your skills even more. You can never practice too much.